Hey guys, are you here? And today I'm over on this side of the screen. Normally I'm on this side of the screen, but I'm gonna show you some things and I don't want my camera to cover it, so I'm on the other side today. Anyways, it is January 24th. There were some new hot fixes that came in today for Arcane Fire and Frost, as well as other things. I'll put the link down below if you guys want to check out other classes, but I am gonna tell you about mage changes specifically. Pretty excited about these Frost Mage changes. Not huge buffs, but they're not nerfs and they are buffs. So let's take a look. So we have increases the frost damage, damage on most frost spells and abilities by 4%. So we have Ebon Bolt, Blizzard, Conical, Flurry, Frostbomb, Frostbolt, Orb, Lance, Nova, Waterbolt, Ray of Frost, and Water Jet. This is like every single frost ability by 4%. 4% that's a decent amount of damage, especially if you're playing something like UAMLS, or where the little damage adds up and starts to matter. A couple of things in addition: Comet Storm increased by 30%. So I was already using Comet Storm because the Glacial Spike spec isn't that good right now. Unless you're maybe playing like Destro MLS, you can still play the Glacial Spike spec. It might be better in some other situations too, but I've really been liking my Orb spec, as you guys have been seeing in my YouTube videos, and I will go over my official Orb spec here in a second with you guys as well. But yeah, so Common Storm increased by 30%. That's a pretty big buff. That is a pretty big buff. So if you're playing with a Rogue and you Comet Storm, I haven't actually tested this in an arena match yet since the buffs, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna do maybe like 10 or more percent of someone's life, just because it was already doing a good amount. I think a 30% buff on this is going to be pretty significant. So the what it's going to go like is the Rogue's going to Kidney Shot, you're going to Orb, Comet Storm, and Ice Nova, and then from here you're probably, it's been 2 globals since your Orb, so you're going to have at least 2 or 3 Ice Lance procs, and then you're just going to start firing out Ice Lances, and then if you had a Flurry, saved up a Flurry into more Ice Lances. So that's kind of how your instant cast burst is going to go, and this is going to help it out tremendously. Okay, so Flurry is going to fire its missiles faster, which is kind of good and bad. We're going to have to see how this interacts with Frostbolt, because before you could Frostbolt Flurry, the Frostbolt would actually beat the Flurry to the target, and the Frostbolt, or the Flurry would beat the Frostbolt, and then the Frostbolt will shatter on the Flurry. So I guess since it's faster, it'll definitely still do that, but we're gonna see how it interacts with Ice Lances. So I guess what was happening is, if you had a lot of haste, you could hit 2 Ice Lances into this, which I wasn't doing anyway, so that's totally fine. I think that was more for PvE. But yeah, look at this. So mage buffs all around on the damage. Very excited about that. Fire got a damage buff as well, and as you guys know, I think fire is the dark side, so I wish it got nerfed so people started playing Frost again, but that's okay. Let them play Fire if they want to play Fire. And Arcane actually got a pretty big buff all around as well. Amplification got a little bit nerfed, but a lot of the Arcane spells got a buff, so overall I think it's a buff. This Overpower got nerfed. I think this might have already been in, but yeah, the Overpower got nerfed from 70 to 60, but in PvP, Overpowered spec isn't even the spec that you go anymore. Scrolling down here, we have some PvP changes. Ray of Frost can no longer be kicked, and I don't know if you guys know if you follow me on Twitter or not, but I actually tweeted this change to Blizzard, Holinka, and Warcraft devs. I said, Ray of Frost cannot be kicked, please fix. Look at that, baby. Ray of Frost cannot be channeled if the mage is interrupted and locked out in the Frost School as intended. They fixed it. I tweeted it out and they fixed it. Thank you, Blizzard. Maybe you're watching my videos. I appreciate that. I'm very excited about that change. If you guys didn't know, but the patch before this one, if you cast a Ray of Frost and got kicked, you could immediately cast Ray of Frost again, and that was just stupid, man. I'm a Frost Mage, and I think that's stupid. So, yeah. Anyways, also AP gains are like pretty much twice as much. So the amount of AP from rated PvP has been substantially increased. This substantial increase is about double, I think. So that's also very exciting. If you guys didn't know, in 7.2, they're increasing the cap from 34 traits to PvP up to 54 or 74 or 84, something like way higher. It's way higher, so this is awesome. So we'll be able to get those AP traits up there. And that's awesome. So anyways, here are the changes January 24th is the date they're live in US. I don't know about EU yet, maybe tomorrow. Anyway, here, I'm going to go over my official spec real quick, because in my last video, I kind of said, like, I don't know about a couple of these things because I'm still testing it. So after a little bit more testing, a lot of people have been asking, what is your spec? So Lonely Winter, always. Always Lonely Winter. I haven't been going Bone Chilling and Ray of Frost ever. I'm always going Shimmer. I do think Ice Flows does have some merit if you are being trained by like a Windwalker DK and you want to just blink out of the stuns, because remember, Shimmer doesn't break you from stuns. It only allows you to blink twice off global cooldown while casting. So maybe Ice Flows in very specific circumstances. Incanter's Flow, always. Ice Nova, if you're playing with a Rogue and you want to do big stun setups, or you're playing with a Windwalker and you want to do burst setups, Ice Nova, Comet Storm, Ice Nova, Spam Ice Lance, Flurry Ice Lance, etc. That's going to be a big burst. If you're playing that UA MLS, any type of spread pressure, if you're trying to do like some type of mage cleave, Splitting Ice is completely okay. I was playing with a Warlock. You can maybe even try with a Shadow Priest, try with a Boomkin, Splitting Ice cleave. That might be okay as well. Now that I say that, I actually might want to try playing with Asper, try to do some Boomkin Mage Splitting Ice cleaves. I don't know, but we'll see. Here's Ice, yeah, I'll just click back Ice Nova. So I'm going Frigid Winds most of my games. I'm playing with a Warlock with this Splitting Ice to kind of just slow everything and spread pressure. But when I'm playing with a Rogue, I actually like to go Ice Nova, and I like to go Ring. The reason I like to go Ring is because if I try to sheep off of a kidney shot, for example, I'm trying to sheep the kidney, and I get kicked, what I can immediately do is cast that Ring while I'm kicked in on my Arcane School, and it allows me to cast the Ring in my Frost School. So it helps me get CC a lot easier. Having said that, sometimes where I feel like I just don't need the Ring, I can go Frigid Winds, but the Ring of Frost is always a take versus Resto Druids. So this is the big one you guys have been talking about, Arctic Gale versus Frostbomb. I actually think Arctic Gale is better, even in RBGs. By the way, my RBG spec, I do go Splitting Ice, and yeah, this is my RBG spec. Not Ice Nova. Anyway, so for Arctic Gale, a lot of people were, you know, hating on it because it just increases Blizzard's damage and AoE effect. That's troll, right? Wrong. So Frostbomb, it's like a little less than 1.5 second cast. It's AoE. It does like 70,000 damage per Ice Lance, and say you're doing like 2 or 3 Ice Lances, it's like 100 to 150k damage total on a burst window. That's not great. That's a 1.5 second cast, a little bit shorter, for 150k damage, maybe less, okay? That could potentially lead you to getting kicked and having no damage at all. It could potentially lead the enemy to know that you're going to swap to them before you actually are, right? If you're frostbombing, it kind of shows, oh, the mage is about to do damage, you know, stop the frostbomb. It kind of gives them a warning instead of just, boom, unleashing a bunch of damage. And yeah, it just allows your whole setup to come 1.5 seconds slower. So there's like 3 major downsides to playing with Frostbomb, okay? Arctic Gale makes your Blizzard have a larger AoE to reset your Orb, which is your true burst. Your burst windows are with Frozen Orb now. So if your Arctic Gale is bigger, it ticks on more things, it makes your Orb shorter, you can burst more. That's what I prefer. That's what I prefer. Even in RBGs, I've actually been going Arctic Gale, Frigid Winds, and Splitting Ice to really just slow everything. And this is the spec I play with a Warlock. Then with the Rogue, I kind of like to do, you know, Ice Nova, Ring of Frost. Comet Storm is kind of what I've been going with this Ice Lance build. I haven't been really liking the Glacial Spike build as much because you don't have Ice Flows anymore. It's very difficult to land those spikes. But yeah, Comet Storm, very nice for more instant cast bursts. And I will quickly go over the Honor Talents as well. Not much has changed here. I like to play, it depends. If I'm a human adaptation's good. But since I play Horde, I like to play Trinket versus, stun comps, and maybe Relentless versus non-stun comps. But I have been finding myself playing Trinket more often than not. 6% haste, always mind quickness, always mind quickness. Prismatic Cloak here. I go almost every game unless there's no spells to blink, no druids, no cyclone, no spells. Then you can go Burning Determination if there's 2 kicks, or Netherwind Armor if there's not 2 kicks and there's no spells. So yeah. Let's see here. I almost always play Temp Shield unless I'm fighting like a Shadow Play, LSD, something like that with a lot of damage over time effects. Then I will go ahead and play Dampened Magic. Frostbite always now, and Concentrated Coolness always now. And this is not correct on Wowhead. It's actually 250% increase in the actual game. So this is the honor spec I'm running with. These are the talents I'm running with. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry it went a little bit long, but just had a lot to say. Very excited about these changes, these buffs. I really still am enjoying this Frost Mage playstyle because it's still bursty, but it has some consistency to it. I like that you can Blizzard to get your burst back. It's very, very fun. Expect more videos like this in the future. Thumbs the video up if you liked it. Thumbs it down if you didn't. Let me know what you guys want to see in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!